Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Perfect World Part 247 based on novel. So let's start. Woo, perhaps that really will be the case. There was another who nodded. Many people knew that Huang and Wang Shi previously had a falling out. The Wang family's people had targeted him, to the extent where they even placed a diamond band on him, wishing to make him a servant. Back then, this matter had stirred up quite the disturbance. Many people from Heavenly Deity Institution knew about it, and because of this, Huang had previously suppressed Wang Shi, spending a night together. Many people had heard this before. Huang did this for the sake of washing away the humiliation Wang family left him with, but because of this deeply offended a long-life family. There were others who shook their heads, saying, that might not necessarily be the case. Jin Zhong is the pride of heaven in this generation, so he ought to have his own aspirations, boldness. He might not necessarily seek out Huang to look for trouble immediately after emerging from seclusion. What a pity, things change with the passage of time, the Huang of the past. There were some who were shaking their heads, feeling pity. Almost 3 years have passed. The people who merged with unmatched seeds all emerged from seclusion, while the one without a perfect seed vanished without a trace. It was clear that many people already came to similar conclusions. Huang had already disappeared, not appearing again, so the conclusion was easy to predict. One's path is their own to choose, it can't be blamed on another. In the past, Immortal Academy didn't give him a perfect Tao seed. So what if he entered my sacred academy? How could the results have been like this? It would be a completely different situation. Someone said coldly. You should just stop. Would Huang have been able to get true dragon's heart blood if he went to sacred academy? Obtain heavenly horned ant's extreme strength blood? Obviously not. They were already divided up, reserved for Little Saint and the others. Someone said. Not far out, blue multicolored light flickered, hazy radiance scattering about, also dyeing this place with faint blue light, appearing cold and mysterious. There was a hazy figure that appeared, her figure tall and slender, legs long. Her blue dress fluttered about, unable to hide her impressive curves. This was a woman who looked like she was in her 20s, her skin snow white and sparkling, beautiful like jade. She walked out from the blue mist. They could now see her clearly. Her pupils were also blue, and her head of long hair was also blue like water ripples, bright and soft. Her figure moved gracefully as she walked over, long blue hair full of sparkling radiance. This woman was without a doubt exceedingly beautiful, her skin white and translucent, eyes full of intelligence, large and beautiful. Her eyelashes were long, brilliant splendor released when they blinked. It's her, long-life family Blue Clan's Princess Lan Xian 1. Someone released a cry of alarm, recognizing her. A wave of discussion was immediately produced. Everyone turned around to look at her. This was not only because she was a peerless beauty, her looks able to topple cities, it was also because she was a female supreme being, an incomparably powerful young individual. She had previously exchanged a palm with Purple Sun Heavenly Monarch. It was just one palm, yet it shaved off a divine peak from the northern sea forest. One had to understand that that place was sturdy and unbreaking, difficult to move. After endless time had passed, many people had previously went there to leave behind their names to test the depth and strength of their own cultivation realm. Different parts of the forest corresponded to different cultivation realms. This was an ancient holy land. Rarely was there anyone able to destroy the forest, let alone a divine peak second only to the Transcendence Peak. Lan Xian had previously traded a palm with Purple Sun Heavenly Monarch, no winner or loser decided, both pulling back as a tie. The two didn't continue to fight, so the outside world speculated that they felt mutual apprehension. This woman who was only known for her exceptional beauty before, after this battle, she shook the world. Everyone became aware of her power. She looked weak, beautiful like a fairy, but in reality, her strength was rarely seen. She merged with a sky dome seed, dark blue like a diamond. When this seed appeared, it had previously dyed Immortal Academy's skies, blue like the dome of heaven, no one knowing where this seed went afterwards. Only after Lan Xian successfully merged with this seed, fighting against Purple Sun Heavenly Monarch, did everyone realize what happened. There were some who muttered quietly, mentioning all types of things related to Lan Xian. Not far out, Shahao's eyes flickered about. He could clearly sense that this woman was powerful. Was this the strength of the present world young supreme beings? However, he also knew that Lan Xian was restraining her own exceptional aura, or else it would be even more frightening. The reason why he could sense this was completely because of his spiritual awareness. The so-called Sky Dome seed, during the ancient times, was known to be unspeakably precious. A seed that dared take on the dome of heaven as its name, how could it not be world-shaking? This seed alone was given the name Sky Dome. In the past, the Great Mist Purple Energy Seed was known as an unmatched seed that could definitely allow one to harmonize with the Tao, the easiest to achieve immortality, long life and undying, a perfect seed. Meanwhile, on the other side of this was precisely the Sky Dome seed. This Sky Dome seed was viewed as something the heavens left for their heirs, the greatest gift, able to forcefully oppress the mortal realm's Great Mist Purple Energy Seed. Now, this woman personally arrived in Heavenly Deity Institution. Did this mean that the young supreme beings were all going to appear? Everyone was quite expectant. Purple Sun Heavenly Monarch, Lan Xian, Little Sky King, Great Shutuor, these four individuals' reputation shook the 9 heavens 10 earths, representing Immortal Academy's greatest fighting strength. Apart from this, there was Qi Jiyu, Little Saint, as well as the pride of heaven of this generation, Jin Zhon, these three one more powerful than the next, previously suffering several rebirths, their depths immeasurable. Who was number one in the present world? Who was the true number one supreme being of the younger generation? Many people were discussing privately. They were all extremely stirred up, wishing to know the result. During this period of time, even the older generation were privately discussing this. In reality, we have to include the Protector's descendant Dugu Yun, 10 Crown King Tian Zi, as well as the most mysterious exiled immortal. Someone said with a light sigh. It was because these three didn't go to the northern sea forest to carve their own names, and they didn't have especially glorious or world-shaking battle accomplishments, so they were difficult to understand. However, everyone knew that they were definitely strong, moreover strong at the point where their true bottom lines couldn't be seen. We should just forget about that exiled immortal. There was no news of him obtaining an unmatched Tao seed. However, that 10 Crown King is definitely frightening. After all, he merged with a world tree sapling. Talking about these things is pointless. As for the truth, who could say for certain? I feel like there are still some who haven't truly revealed their strength yet, and these individuals might very well be even stronger. Just a random discussion already named 10 great experts. These individuals all the focal points of everyone's attention during these 2 years. Woo, top 10 great experts. Perhaps a few of them can be swapped out, because there are some hidden experts, but at least 6 or 7 of them should be there, difficult for others to take their place. For example, the 9 Netherworlds AO, even though Shahao had previously defeated it, there were some who believed that he still had the qualifications to enter the ranks of 10 great experts. Also, Sacred Academy had rumors that there was a youth named Yi Yi, too, who resonated with the heavenly horned ant's extreme strength, blood, divine force matchless, bravery unrivaled. He was definitely powerful beyond comparison. Aside from this, there were some who were sure that there was someone who obtained the yin-yang seed. It wasn't exiled immortal who they previously assumed it to be, this person harmonizing with yin and yang, an aura of primal chaos around him, possessing generation-crushing aptitudes. Just like that, more than 10 people were mentioned, all of them having the qualifications to enter the ranks of 10 great experts. Immortal Academy's Purple Sun Heavenly Monarch, Lan Xian, Little Sky King, Great Shu Tuo, Sacred Academy's Qi Ji Yu, Little Saint, Jin Zhon, these were already confirmed. They were definitely transcendent individuals. There was also 10 Crown King Tianzi, exiled immortal, Protector's descendant Du Yun, as well as the 9 netherworlds Ao Shahao had previously fought a great battle against, Yi Yi, the mysterious individual who merged with the yin-yang seed, and others. Kai. Not far out, multicolored light surged, all colors surging, the scene extremely dazzling. A group of people immediately rushed over. Then, everyone was shocked, groups moving out. It was because they sensed a strong immortal Tao aura surging from beneath the earth. Everyone knew that there was an immortal manor underneath Heavenly Deity Institution, one that remained closed this whole time. Now that this happened, how could they not make the association? The mud pool. Someone cried out in alarm. This was the place Great Elder enjoyed to angle in, many people speculating that the entrance to the immortal manor was likely here. Now, the mud pool released immortal light, immediately raising a commotion. Hong! Scarlet multicolored light surged at the limits of the horizon, the radiance carrying a golden-red hue. It swept in this direction. A pure gold arms bowl appeared there, crushing downwards, wishing to surround the mud pool. That is Great Shu Tuo. Someone cried out in alarm. The one who obtained the ashes of an ancient monk appeared, the one who was rumored to be destined to obtain an imperishable body, become an immortal monk. That alms bowl was the embodiment of the ancient monk's inheritance, condensed from Great Shu Tuo's precious techniques. It could hold the sun, moon, and stars. Right now, it wanted to collect the mud pool. Bo. Blue light flashed past, a mysterious mist surged. A blue-clad fairy appeared, gently moving her spacious sleeve, blasting the alms bowl away. She stood there, her impressive figure undulating up and down, beautiful and astonishing. This was precisely Lan Xian. No one expected 2 of the most well-known great supreme beings to take action, as soon as the mud pool appeared, opposing each other with equal harshness. Who? Right at this time, a grey-robed Daoist appeared, standing in the mud pool. Crazy winds swept about, sand and stone flying everywhere. Many ancient trees were pulled up by the roots. He wasn't doing this deliberately, this was just the energy that naturally swept around him, the energy already blowing aside all rubbish in his path. This was a type of heavenly wind that ensured he remained untainted by dirt, not contaminated by the aura of the mortal world. There were people who also called this immortal wind. This was the embodiment of a transcendent being's tremendous potential, the profoundness of his cultivation. Qi Ji Yu, he came as well. Someone said with shock. Sacred Academy's young supreme being appeared. He was extremely young, but his appearance was ordinary. At the same time, he looked quite old-fashioned, not a hint of a smile on his face, completely expressionless. This was someone who had undergone rebirth many times like a phoenix, reborn through flames, breaking through the limits of the present world methods several times, terrifying to the extreme. Dao brother Qi Ji Yu has come. I have also come to join the liveliness. In the sky, a mist of purple light emerged, an auspicious energy pervading the air, surrounding all directions. Purple energy came from the east. This was an indescribably noble propitious energy, vast and powerful throughout 30,000 li. It was clear that Purple Sun Heavenly Monarch arrived. This supreme being among men, a heaven-warping genius whose birth was even blessed by mysterious splendor, had hurried to this scene. An immortal cave unexpectedly drew the attention of several of the most powerful young supreme beings. Descending here one after the other, it truly left everyone's minds greatly shaken. I understand now. The manor underneath heavenly deity institution might very well be left behind by an immortal king. The inheritance here is likely glorious and world-shattering. Someone made this deduction. Everyone trembled inwardly, immediately feeling like this made sense. There might be an immortal king's secret realm underground. The mud pool shone, auspicious energy surging, as if something was going to rise up, triggering great shock. Everyone rushed over together, wishing to fight over opportunities. In the end, 4 great experts took action at the same time. Great Shutuo's true body didn't move, but the alms bowl did, collecting heaven and earth, the aura of an immortal monk endless, scattering over, making many experts feel reverence, not daring to approach. Then, Lan Xian formed magical imprints, the sky dome rumbling, crushing down, the entire dome of heaven unexpectedly forming a sheet of great Tao scriptures, covering everything above. Hong. Purple Sun Heavenly Monarch was even more direct, actually exchanging a palm with Daoist Chi Jiu from the distance, ripples immediately surging out like ocean waves, shocking everyone around them. Fortunately, there were formations here, stopping the terrifying fluctuations. Woo, all of you, do not crowd this place, don't get too close. There were some people who stood out, keeping order in this place. Immortal Academy and Holy Academy's people can stand at the very front. Heavenly Deity Institution's people move to the back. These words really were infuriating for Heavenly Deity Institution's people. It went without saying that the great supreme beings at the centralmost position in the mud pool would be the first ones to enter when the Immortal Manor opened. Next were Immortal Academy and Sacred Academy's people, closely following behind those 4 great experts. Even though this was Heavenly Deity Institution, the Academy's students were ordered to line up at the very back, not allowed to be at the front. Why should we? This is our Heavenly Deity Institution. How can you treat us like this? There were more than 10 students from Heavenly Deity Institution who were discontent. It is because Heavenly Deity Institution is too inferior, not a single person who can come out and fight, just a declining place. The opportunities are to be left for the strong, those who are lacking should know their place. Someone said, his voice full of contempt. This could be considered a type of taunting, but for Heavenly Deity Institution's students, it was a type of humiliation, truly too hard to take. They were in their own academy, guarding their own treasure, yet had no right to it, had to move to the back. It really made them feel like the other party was bullying them too far, unable to swallow this down. Kai. Right at this time, a streak of hazy light rushed out from the mud pool, wrapping around something, triggering a huge commotion. The 4 great young supreme beings all took action. In the end, a great clash immediately broke out between them, a great confrontation erupting. Lan Xian faced Great Shutuo, Chi Jiu confronted Purple Sun Heavenly Monarch. The others wanted to take action and compete, but they felt a bit scared, fearing that they would anger the 4 great supreme beings. Right at this time, furthest out, someone walked out from Heavenly Deity Institution's students. With a raise of his hand, clear light swirled, directly seizing that object, grasping it in his palm. Everyone was stupefied. There was someone who dared to steal food from the mouths of the 4 great supreme beings. Who was this person? Could it be that another young supreme being came? Everyone looked over, all attention focused on this person. Why does he look familiar? That is. Heavens. That is the one who has disappeared for a long time, Huang. There was someone who recognized Shahao, releasing a cry of alarm. This name was one that hadn't been mentioned for a long time. For a year after he disappeared, there were still people discussing him, but this slowly quieted down. However, today, his name was spoken once again. Huang. Was it really him? Everyone turned around, many people's attention concentrated in that direction. He looked extremely familiar, it really was that person. Only, he looked much more ordinary than before, lacking a type of brashness, his entire being becoming much calmer. A large portion of the people here had seen Huang before. Right now, they all revealed looks of shock. Why did he show up again? From what everyone knew, he lost his position as a supreme being, supposed to never appear again. No one expected that he would reappear today in Heavenly Deity Institution. It really is him. Huang has returned. A single leave and almost 3 years passed. Where did he stay during this time? What was he doing? Many people carried puzzlement within. Huang, he was previously the young supreme being of a generation. Only, because he didn't have a perfect ancient seed, he ended up withering away. What does his appearance now mean? Could it be that he successfully merged with a Tao seed? A few people were excited, especially those who remained in Heavenly Deity Institution, the students who weren't chosen by Sacred or Immortal Academy, their faces even more so full of excitement. Our Heavenly Deity Institution isn't without talents, just that he hadn't returned before. Now, a truly supreme being returned, even the 9 netherworlds AO falling under his hands, he even more so dared to challenge Little Sky King. A few people laughed loudly, feeling extremely stirred up. It was because during these 2 years, Heavenly Deity Institution had declined greatly, the true geniuses all chosen away, gone without any intention of returning. The academy didn't have any other stunning students. Under the pressure of the 2 great academies, it became dim without radiance, losing all of its former magnificence and brilliance. The present Heavenly Deity Institution was extremely low profile, something that couldn't be helped. It was because there were no exceptional disciples here. Those who were left behind all rotten wood in the eyes of Immortal and Sacred Academy, useless. Heavenly Deity Institution's students were extremely inferior in status, unable to raise their heads before the 2 academies' disciples. It was because none of them could compete against the 2 academies' disciples. When the 2 academies' disciples appeared, Heavenly Deity Institution's disciples were all rejected, to the extent where they were harshly berated, not attached any importance to at all, lacking the respect they ought to receive. Huang, is it really you? Someone cried out, rushing over. When Shahao was in Heavenly Deity Institution before, he didn't really have much interaction with these students, instead having some conflict with a few of the best geniuses, competing against them, for example, Lu Tuo, Wang Shi and the others. However, as time went on, only these students and Shahao remained, the so-called heaven-warping geniuses all left. Only a small portion of individuals remained in the academy, so even those that were previously unfamiliar with Shahao developed excellent opinions of him, as if they had seen a close friend. A few people were even crying tears of joy, feeling their blood surge, couldn't help but roar towards the sky. It was because they had suffered just too much unfairness and humiliation. For example, this time, in Heavenly Deity Institution itself, when the underground Immortal Cave was about to open, Heavenly Deity Institution's disciples were berated and ordered to move back, not allowed to remain in the front. Just how awkward was this? Truly a type of extraordinary shame and humiliation. They felt ashamed and resentful, yet there was nothing they could do. It was because previously, there were people who expressed their discontent, fighting back, but those who weren't chosen really weren't the other side's opponents. During these clashes, forget about Purple Sun Heavenly Monarch, Chi Ji, Great Shutuo, and the other true supreme beings, even their attendants and servants didn't take action. The others appeared, yet these individuals were still subdued. There were some who had been beaten until they coughed out large amounts of blood, thrown out of Heavenly Deity Institution's gate, yet they could only hold this loss, remain silent, unable to say anything back. They held back their resentment and quietly withdrew. The others didn't rush over, but they were all curious. These were the disciples of the 2 academies. As for Huang, it could be said that few didn't know about him. He was an influential figure 3 years ago as well, previously displayed a series of brilliant battle accomplishments, such as subduing and taking the young genius Mo Dao with 3 strands of immortal energy as a servant, even more so defeating the 9 netherworlds AO and other things. 2 to 3 years ago, when Huang was mentioned, many people felt respect and fear, not wishing to stand against him. Only, as time went on and geniuses emerged in large numbers, those who merged with perfect ancient seeds appearing one after another, how could he still hold his previous status? They all felt that there was no way he still had his brilliance from back then. After calmly thinking things through cool-headedly, many people felt that Shahao was definitely going to lose the glory he had at the heavenly deity realm. It was because he lacked an unmatched ancient seed. Shahao was surrounded, more than 10 disciples from heavenly deity institution at his side, their eyes burning with passion, leaving him feeling a bit helpless, but at the same time made him release a sigh. During the past 2 to 3 years, heavenly deity institution really has been shown contempt and scorn, suffering all types of injustice. What is that thing? In the distance, many people were curious, staring at Shahao's hand. Specks of auspicious light moved about. Inside Shahao's hand was a stone box, extremely simple and ancient in appearance, also quite mysterious, wisp after wisp of white mist lingering about, even more so having immortal Tao multicolored light rising from it. This left many people moved. This was a precious box. It actually rushed over on its own, flying out from the mud pool, clearly possessing spirituality. Everyone's minds burned with desire, really wanting to rush over and seize it. Even Lan Xian, Purple Sun Heavenly Monarch, Qi Jiyu and the others were quite curious about what exactly was inside of the stone box. Shahao looked it over, and was then about to open it. However, right at this time, someone from the distance spoke up. "Wait. Do you need something?" Shahao didn't stop, his tone indifferent, still examining this stone box. It was wrapped in flowing light, carrying a wave of auspicious energy, actually quite sturdy. After trying several times, he actually wasn't able to open it. "Dao friend," the stone box flew out from the mud pool, so it should have originated from the immortal cave, an ownerless item. As such, it does not belong to you. A humanoid creature with an extremely large and tall physique spoke. On his head was a single golden horn, his eyes also faint golden in color, long hair shining like a flame, his powerful and straight body giving off a type of pressure. He clearly recognized Shahao, knowing that he was precisely Huang. Even if he didn't know about this person before, he definitely heard the others' discussions just now. Now that he stepped forward like this, he was clearly expressing a type of stance. Everyone revealed strange expressions. They all knew that this person didn't have any good intentions. This was challenging Huang's dignity, sizing up his present true strength. Even though this person spoke rather tactfully, not directly ripping up all face, this type of stance, this type of tone were clearly purposely to stand in his way. Since it is an ownerless item, then what is the point in you telling me to wait? An ownerless item fell into my hands, then it means it now does have an owner. Shahao swept out an indifferent look. When that single horned humanoid figure was swept through by this glance, he felt a wave of alarm. His heart jumped. This Huang. Could it be that he was still that frightening? Didn't he lack a suitable Dao seed to merge with? His head of flame like long hair scattered down, golden pupils releasing sinister light. He didn't shrink back, instead pressing forward a few great steps, saying, "It is an ownerless item, needing to be transferred to higher authorities, and then after the great family's discussions, only then could they be conferred to someone." Many people became silent, their eyes swirling with light, watching this interesting development. They understood that this person was determined to stand in Shahao's way, not allowing him to obtain the stone box. Flames of anger appeared in the eyes of heavenly deity institution's disciples, all of them extremely angry. This truly was going too far. If it was Great Shutuor, Lan Xian, or the others who obtained the stone box, would this person dare speak these words? Now that this person saw Huang return, could it be that he didn't think the other party still had his past divine might, and thus purposely walked up to provoke him? Someone from Heavenly Deity Institution angrily said, "You are Jin Jiaoshi 1. I've heard of you. You are proficient in the rhinoceros horn divine ability, your flesh strong, defensive force astonishing, having a set amount of reputation. However, acting this domineeringly really is a bit lacking in propriety. What qualifications do you have to stop my Heavenly Deity Institution's people from obtaining treasure? Dao friend is making jokes. I am merely speaking with impartial motives. This is how it should be. Could it be that you feel like Heavenly Deity Institution's people don't have to respect the rules?" Jin Jiaoshi said with a smile. Then, he gave everyone a look, saying, "What do you all say? It should be the great families who decide what is to be done. This is an ownerless item, so what do you all think?" Heavenly Deity Institution's disciples were furious. This person really was determined to provoke them. Did he really think there was no one with strength in their Heavenly Deity Institution? It was clear that everyone had their own selfish motives. Since someone stood out to stop Shahao, then quite a few strong individuals weren't willing to see an immortal treasure fall into the hands of another. A few of them began to side with Jin Jiaoshi. These people nodded their heads, expressing that they agreed with Jin Jiaoshi's words. Since it is an ownerless object, then a decision should be made after everyone discussed things. If it was Great Shutuor or Purple Sun Heavenly Monarch who obtained it, would you all dare do this? Heavenly Deity Institution's disciples berated. They felt extremely resentful towards Jin Jiaoshi's actions. This person was clearly trying to turn everyone against them. "Brother Huang, I really am sorry. It isn't that I am trying to target you, but this matter has to be treated fairly. Please just hand over that stone box," Jin Jiaoshi said with a slight smile. Not only did golden light surge from his eyes, even his skin released golden radiance. "Look, this is what everyone thinks, not just my own opinion. We all wish for this place to be a bit more peaceful, avoid bloodshed, to have fairness be carried out." Heavenly Deity Institution's disciples all clenched their teeth. Jin Jiaoshi truly was self-righteous, actually speaking this type of words. Is it everyone's intentions, or your own? Or perhaps the intentions of those behind you? If you want it, then just come for it. Shahao gave him a look of contempt. He looked extremely calm, not treating this matter as a big deal at all. "What are you trying to say?" Jin Jiaoshi felt attacked by this type of indifference and disdain, making him feel a wave of humiliation. Someone who had lost his past glory actually dared to look down on him like this. Moreover, the other person's expression was undisguised, not carrying the slightest bit of concealment, just as if he was talking to the most lowly and despicable person. "I have previously heard that the treasures here would belong to whoever obtained it. By changing it suddenly on your own, who are you speaking in the place of? Great Shutuor, Purple Sun Heavenly Monarch, or Lan Xian?" Shahao spoke without an ounce of respect. Jin Jiaoshi really wanted to berate and scold him, claiming that this was everyone's intentions, but he was scared of offending the four great supreme beings, so he didn't dare directly speak out, momentarily trapped in a dilemma. "If you want it, then just come over. If you don't want it, then get lost." Shahao was extremely direct. "You?" Jin Jiaoshi's expression suddenly changed. He only wished to size up Shahao in the place of others, but now, he found himself in an awkward situation. He shouted coldly, "Fine then, I will come over myself to seize it. I will take it in everyone's place. You only want it for yourself, you cannot represent anyone. Don't try to flaunt whatever righteousness, or else it will only look even worse for you." Shahao said coldly. Everyone's mind jumped. This was definitely Huang's style. Not long ago, he looked calm and aloof, as if he lacked his past sharpness. Now, they saw that he didn't change at all. Jin Jiaoshi really did come up. He was extremely careful, his figure swelling. His upper body turned into a divine rhinoceros, giant body incredibly intimidating, divine skin releasing a faint golden radiance. That single rhinoceros horn was even more so incomparably resplendent, releasing electrical radiance, as well as metal attribute essence energy. It was incredibly terrifying, sword radiance rushing out. His lower body was still that of a human's. At this moment, he charged forward, wishing to forcefully seize the stone box, launching his attack. Only when he approached did Shahao move. His figure shifted, taking action with lightning speed, but there was a type of aesthetic perception, directly striking forward. Eventually, all the brilliance disappeared, everything returning to normal, the other party nowhere to be found. With a blur before everyone's eyes, Shahao formed a type of simple and ancient magical imprint. With a leap, he broke through Jin Jiaoshi's sect master level defenses, and then with a catcher sound, cut down his giant horn. After a moment of peace, the single-horned rhinoceros released a miserable howl that shook heaven and earth, the great earth breaking open. The distant mountain peaks were even about to collapse, rubble rushing into the heavens. His strength was extremely great, possessing terrifying divine might, but now, he lost his most powerful and well-known golden horn from a single clash. Everyone became stupefied. This was just the beginning, yet it already ended. There was only one exchange, yet Jin Jiaoshi's divine horn that condensed all of his essence was lost. With heavenly deity realm power, Jin Jiaoshi's defenses were broken through, his rhinoceros horn cut down. Excellent. Right at this time, the blue-clothed fairy spoke. Everyone was stunned. It was Lan Xian who was commenting on this battle, speaking about the situation. Everyone was stunned. He broke through a sect master level expert's defenses with heavenly deity level strength. This was like something out of a legend. This was but crossing a great cultivation realm. Interesting, using heavenly deity level strength to strike a sect master level opponent's weakest point of defense, and then borrowing the enemy's power to trigger resonance, thus breaking his own horn. Lan Xian. Everyone was stunned. Was Huang doing this to display his Dao or his techniques? Using Jin Jiaoshi's own power to break his horn, this was extremely frightening. Jin Jiaoshi was in great pain. This was what he was going to use to achieve the Dao, yet it was destroyed just like that. It left him in so much remorse that he had thoughts of suicide. Do you still want to ask for the stone box? Shahao asked indifferently. Jin Jiaoshi released a furious roar, turning around to leave. He knew that Huang was extremely frightening. Even if the other party didn't merge with a perfect seed, he was still not a match. Who said you could leave? I heard that divine rhinoceros meat wasn't bad. You, stay here for now. Shahao said. Ah, Jin Jiaoshi screamed, shivering inwardly. He immediately turned into his original form, becoming a small mountain-like golden rhinoceros, turning around to run. It was because he had previously heard some rumors that at Huang's peak, he loved roasting all types of rare strange beasts the most, extremely frightening, a demon king. Where are you going? Shahao said quietly behind it. Right at this time, great wind swept about in the distant skies. In addition, purple light spread. A young man with auspicious purple energy around him descended from above. Kui Jia 2, please save me. Jin Jiaoshi screamed, truly frightened badly. He couldn't help but cry for help. Even though Huang had left for many years, his power and influence still remained. After a simple probing, Jin Jiaoshi became completely terrified. Zitong, that is Purple Sun Heavenly Monarch's attendant. Someone said softly. The one who came was precisely the powerful attendant who followed Purple Sun Heavenly Monarch. Jin Jiaoshi, stand at my side. I want to see just who dares to touch you. The attendant named Zi Tong had auspicious purple energy around him. He stood there, full of confidence as he spoke coldly. A hint of a cold smile appeared at the corners of Shahao's lips. He walked forward. The reason Jiaoshi dared to provoke him turned out to be because of this attendant, someone from Purple Sun Heavenly Monarch's side. Zi Tong, stand back. Right at this time, the skies became incredibly resplendent. A great purple sun descended, incomparably terrifying. In the great purple sun was an extremely blurry figure, who released astonishing divine might fluctuations from his body, as if even the sun, moon, rivers, and mountains were going to be crushed. It was precisely Purple Sun Heavenly Monarch. So you are Huang. Even though this is the first time we met, I have heard of your great name for quite some time. Purple Sun Heavenly Monarch said. This video will end here.